Hello all, it's Ilo here. Welcome all to my stream. You all know who I am, and today I decided that it's time to make a new live, and subject is post-acute withdrawals in my own quitting caffeine recovery journey. And I have been feeling that this live I need to make, but because I still have been going through my own healing journey, and there have been ah, so much these healing waves still. I just I have been like just trying to be in my own peace, and now actually I have come off a really bad healing wave. I was already doing a lot of better like for months after my 2 years mark, and then suddenly I got this very intense healing wave, and symptom that I was going through was mainly anhedonia. And if you are new to this term, what is anhedonia, I'm gonna explain it to you. And remember, in these videos, I'm speaking about caffeine withdrawal recovery. And some cases it can take years to overcome addiction and fully heal from that addiction. And you know, every drug is a little bit different, but in my channel, I share my own experience as raw as it is in every moment, and I always show up when I feel that I have something new to share in my own recovery. And I also do my next update video when I'm there in my 2.5 years mark, which is getting closer and closer, because now I'm 27 months and 2 weeks without caffeine. And I also want to mention before I forget, sometimes my memory still doesn't always work like it should be working. I want to mention that in my early videos that I have made earlier, I'm still in the process of healing. In those videos, I experienced still a lot of depersonalization, derealization in some of those videos, but I didn't know always even what that was, because for me also this recovery after this heavy addiction have been experienced, and I have learned all this stuff during my journey. And I also want to thank you, all your veterans who have gone this journey, who have helped me a lot, like you who have gone through this, like you are over 2 years, 3 years, like, and you speak about this. I'm so thankful for you, because you helped me understanding that this is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And that's why I'm also making these videos. My channel is for all of you who are trying to quit caffeine, or if you are already have quit caffeine and you suffer, you have all kind of symptoms, and you cannot believe that caffeine can cause that. Yes, it can. Yes, it definitely can. And sorry if today's live is a little bit, I'm still a little bit confused, because I'm just came off my bad wave of anhedonia where I'm coming now. So basically, post-acute withdrawals are those symptoms that we experience when we are over to detox part of the after quitting addiction. So for me, those will be emotional, mental symptoms, roller coaster ride of many kind of symptoms of anxiety, under the anxiety, when my brain chemistry is trying to find that homeostasis, when the brain chemistry is still off the balance, there can be many kind of symptoms still in this journey. And for me, it was so hard to believe that it can take me for years to completely recover after addiction. And also, for you always send me messages that caffeine withdrawals are 2 to 3 days. I'm gonna send you a lot of love, but that's not the case. Like, I'm speaking with people every day basically, and there is no people who I speak that experience caffeine withdrawals 2 to 3 days. This is a big thing, bigger than many of us can even understand. Caffeine, it's a hard drug, and that's why I come to share my experience in these lives. And I use a lot of humor. That's also how I survived myself. If you don't know me, my name is Anni, and I was heavy caffeine user for years, over 30 years of using, and I quit cold turkey after very dangerous amounts of caffeine. I don't recommend that. So I went through basically really, really hard stuff. And I got to say that even the strongest man will be like crying like a little baby if you experience something that I went through. So, but the main thing is that we heal, and all the symptoms will go away with time. But now back to post-acute withdrawal symptoms and what I did just experience in that anhedonia. So that anhedonia was basically that suddenly, because I was already feeling happier, better, not perfect, because I still cannot do harder exercise, what I have been trying to do, but I still my body doesn't handle stress very well. So suddenly I was traveling. Hi, welcome. So, and I was thinking that, okay, I'm going to enjoy my vacation. And I was there in the nice place and everything should be like good. And I could suddenly, I was like, my periods, it started few days before I was like there. And I already know that now something is happening, like this hormonal wave is coming. But I was still like thinking, okay, I'm gonna go anyway, because I'm gonna fucking go anyway, because you don't want to stop living your life. So I did go to vacation, and there I was, and suddenly I started to feel those symptoms of anxiety. So I felt that something was happening here, the frontal part of my brain. There was something happening, so I couldn't connect to my feelings. I felt nothing, no joy, no bad feelings, no anything. Like I didn't feel anything. Anhedonia is basically that you cannot feel anything. So for me, it was scary because I already was feeling so much better for months, and then it suddenly hit me. And I know that this wave, it wasn't long. It was only like few days for me, but it was scary enough for me to go out of my balance, because usually I'm pretty good with like making jokes with my symptoms, and even I'm very fucked up. I'm pretty good with that, because I'm not physically strong, but but mentally I have become a little bit stronger in this journey, and I have accepted all my symptoms. But this was scary one, because it was like it reminded me what I went through early in my recovery. And always when I have those symptoms, anxiety, I always start to think that maybe I did eat something, maybe I did drink something that there was caffeine, and I wasn't. I was only drinking water and eating some meat and some cheese. So there wasn't nothing. But the mind is always doing that trick. In my case, it always starts to do when I'm anxious. But when my mind is there, when I'm not anxious, I don't care about, I don't doubt, I don't have that OCD kind of symptoms that I have to doubt all the time, that what is happening to me, am I okay, why am I like this, why I cannot enjoy my life, all the other peoples are having fun, why I'm here in the trap in my head, why I'm in this prison in my head, I cannot connect when my life is gonna start, when I'm gonna living my life, because I know, if you are going through this, you know what I'm meaning. So I was there feeling absolute nothing, zero feeling, zero humor, nothing. And I said to my boyfriend that I'm not fucking going through this again. Like this is like, I don't know what to do. And then what I did go my own support group. Welcome to my Discord group. I'm gonna share the link, and then I shared my experience there. And I wanna thank you all, the people you did help me to go through this wave. And that's how we heal, when we ask help, when we have each other, and when we have support. And that's how the post-acute withdrawal symptoms goes. They goes in waves, they comes in waves. So after you face that very bad wave, where you feel that you don't have no hope, you don't understand why the symptoms came back. Maybe you have panic, or maybe you have intrusive thoughts, or whatever symptoms of anxiety you are feeling. Maybe you have memory problems, maybe you have dizziness, maybe you have depersonalization, maybe you have brain fog, maybe you have derealization. I'm going to explain more about those symptoms in a minute. But just remember that wave will end and you come off that, and then you are already a little bit more healed, and you feel better. I promise you, you will feel better. But for me, the scariest symptoms, of course, anxiety and all what is under that, for me have been the scariest, because I'm very normally when I'm good, I feel everything. I enjoy to pet my dog. I enjoy to be in the garden. I'm introvert, so I'm enjoying be alone in the pretty places, in the forest. I didn't feel any of that, nothing. And that's scary part, because I felt that there is something happening in my brain and in my neurotransmitters. And also what I have been noticing, before I was going in that vacation, I was like doing already a little bit harder exercise. So I was like putting stress to my body. So what I have been noticing in my journey, that my body still doesn't handle extra stress still, over 2 years very well. So it gets easily irritated. And I think that was one thing what caused me also that are a little bit worse wave than normally, because also I have been experiencing that these healing waves also comes a little bit more worse every 2 to 3 months. So when I started to recover, first year for me it was all mess. I couldn't like see the pattern that there was there, because there was a pattern. It was basically that there was more bigger healing wave after every 2 to 3 months, and that have been continued to go like that. And this month here, what I'm experiencing now was exactly that, a little bit more bigger healing wave, which I couldn't believe that still can come. So don't worry, this stuff really can take time, even it can be hard to accept that, but it's caffeine, it's complicated drug, and it affects all levels in our body, our brain, our organs, in the cellular level. Sometimes I'm frustrated because my English, but I'm gonna also put some links about post-acute withdrawals under this live, so you can understand more, and I'm gonna put also about those neurotransmitters, what is happening when you go through post-acute withdrawals videos about that, so you can check that out. But anyway, a lot of speaking, and now it's time to say welcome all. Hope you are doing good. I'm doing this for you, and that's why I'm sharing, not because I'm showing here how I'm doing. Of course I'm doing that, but for me it's important that message comes out. Even I'm struggling with my words, and I'm not perfect. I'm struggling. I'm fucked up many times, but the message needs to come out. That for me is like the main thing. And then probably when I'm completely healed, I'm gonna just leave the YouTube and live my life like I don't care so much about social media, but the message needs to be there, and that's why I'm here. And I also get some shit about always that hurts me sometimes when people are saying that I'm making things up. There is no caffeine withdrawals. Caffeine is healthy for you. Caffeine is like giving you so much benefits. But you can decide yourself how that is. But what I do know, that many people are struggling months and years after using this poison and very heavy drug. And that's why I feel that this is important to share to my story and keep updating. Even sometimes I don't feel to do update. I don't seriously feel to do update, but I'm gonna fucking do it anyway. So, but how you have been doing, my guys? Hope you are all good. Hope you are all good. And also something that I want to share, that sometimes when we experience those post-acute withdrawals after heavy addiction, it can be that you are even doing really good for months. Like you are doing good in your life, and then suddenly it's gonna hit you and anxiety comes back. And sometimes that can happen. It's all that when the brain is trying to find that balance. And caffeine really it affects so much. It affects our dopamine function, GABA, not just adenosine. It affects every single neurotransmitters and how they communicate, basically. And for me, I don't still understand a lot of like chemistry of that or anything, but I'm learning. And what is the most important message for me is that we go back to good and even better. But if you have been like heavy addict like me and very high amounts of caffeine, it can just takes time before everything goes back to normal. And for me, it was after 1 year I was kind of like losing my hope many times, because those post acute withdrawals always came back, and I still suffered with a lot of heavy fatigue, lot of with that depersonalization. So my depersonalization was basically that I couldn't connect with myself. If I was watching in the mirror, I was watching like kind of like a stranger. And I also have that depersonalization in my other lives and videos. I noticed that myself, but in that time I was just didn't understand that quite well. So it was basically for me that there was almost like some kind of wall here. And that was for me not so scary, not the scariest one, but very much hopeless symptoms, because I was thinking that I lost myself. Like, who is that girl? Like, is that girl ever comes back? When I was watching my old pictures or videos, I didn't know who that girl was. Like, I couldn't connect with that. I was trying to connect with God, praying a lot of that I will heal. Sometimes it was a lot of easier, other times it was hard because of depersonalization. Yeah. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, dissociation. Yeah. And there is a lot of good videos about dissociation and depersonalization. I also put one link, the depersonalization channel, YouTube channel, here below this video, so you can understanding more of that symptom. And it doesn't hurt you. It's there to protect you. Brain is very intelligent. It puts there all these symptoms because there is a reason, not because you are going crazy. So caffeine is really causing a lot of mental illness, all sort of mental illness, OCD, and all kind of stuff to people. And of course, all the physical pains and symptoms and stomach issues and stuff that people are suffering. And that's why many people have to quit. Actually, what I have been um, like experiencing and hearing from other people, that many people quit when they have to. Like, caffeine it's a nasty drug because you can really use that long time and you have all the problems there, but you just cannot quit that maybe yet, because you are still in that drug. You can still function. So, but the sooner the better, I will say. And all the young ones, you young ones there, I'm gonna say that quit that. You can quit that, because sooner the better. If you give it yourself that time now, you don't have to do that later in your life. I just hope that I would have quit a lot of sooner, but it's better late late than never. So I'm waiting to next year when I turn 40. I'm experiencing that be the best part of my life, and I have no doubt about that. Even the there is a lot of happening in the world, and like in my own life, I'm very peaceful about that. I don't care about like little stress symptoms after what I experienced. Nothing really seems to like gives me worries when I have gone through this. So I definitely recommend to give yourself a lot of love, a lot of patience. And when the anxiety hits you, it hits you like a train. Ask help. And there's also that really nice app, like phone app called Dare. I'm gonna write it there. So I don't know how to write anymore. Dare. So you can check that up also. It can help you. So, and remember that anxiety, as awful as it can feel in this journey, and when the brain chemistry is like messed up, it cannot kill you. It won't kill you. So yeah, you're gonna recover for sure. 22, like that's amazing. So don't worry. And one thing that I don't never want to bring in this journey of healing of mind, that I don't want to bring you any kind of fear. That because that fucking fear that I experienced in my first year was probably the one of the worst symptoms when there was adrenaline rushes and panic all the time, and that fear and on those intrusive thoughts. Deep breath in and out. It won't kill you. You're gonna get over this. I promise. Because sometimes if I still experience bad wave, maybe I have courage enough to come YouTube then. So you're gonna see how different I am when I'm in a bad healing wave, because I'm fucked up when I'm that. I'm crying. You don't see this kind of Annie there. No, you're gonna see Annie who is like like that's how we feel. It's normal when you're recovering. It's not gonna kill you. And that's why for me, when I was in my early recover, I was very like, I was isolating myself because I didn't want to hear any negative shit. Nothing like, you should do this, you should, are you taking this, are you taking that, or nothing like, maybe you have this and that. I didn't want to hear that because I knew it's post-acute withdrawals and it's gonna go away with time. So keep in mind on that positive help and like empathic people are the best best friends in with you in this journey, who support you, and not the people who are heavily caffeinated. I was heavily caffeinated. Like, I understand that. How is that when you are heavily caffeinated? Your brain is functioning a little bit different way then. So remember those who are caffeinated. Remember that those are. Wait a second. I'm gonna take a little bit. Yes, so remember those who are like heavily caffeinated, they don't know a shit about this stuff. Or maybe they do because like they do when they have already quit or trying to quit. Hi there. How are you, my beautiful friends? Yes, amazing, Lisa. Amazing. It's really caffeine. That's how fucked up that drug is gonna make us feel. It is, and I still have to accept. I still have to some like a hard time to accept that in my journey it also takes that 3 years to be amazing, maybe 4. Yeah, I have heard some veterans to tell that, and I believe that, because even I'm a lot of better. I still struggle with that hard exercise. My mind already want to do those, but my body cannot handle that. So that's also is important to share. But remember about those post-acute withdrawals, that sometimes symptoms can also change. So it can be that you have some symptom like in your first year, and then that symptom will go away and you are like, good, this symptom did leave, and then there will come some other symptoms instead of that. So that's completely normal when you are withdrawing and brain chemistry is like healing. So be like, don't be panicking of that if suddenly there is new symptoms and an old one goes. That's how it goes. A lot of speaking, but I hope I did get everything out. I was thinking that maybe I'm not ready to do this live yet because I just came off in that bad wave, and always when that happens in my journey, I'm a little bit shaky still, like, am I going off this wave really, or maybe this anhedonia comes back, and like excited, and I'm always a little bit nervous to come here in YouTube because probably many people are just watching how that dude is going, like how I'm doing and how I'm looking, and I'm insecure in myself and introvert, but like I said, like I have to put this message out. It's more important than me and my own insecurity in this time. So that's why I'm showing here, and I'm gonna say everything that I experience in this journey, and in my own way, because my English, it's not perfect, and that's why I'm gonna also put these videos and links below in that video about those post-acute withdrawals and neurotransmitters healing, so you can find a lot of good info about that. And now I'm gonna also put the link to my own Discord support group. That's why it's there. Support us. Okay, there. Yes, yes. Definitely give yourself time, Pablo. And also one thing that I have been noticing when I hear people's stories and all that, it's sometimes people will relapse even over 2 years when they are not fully recovered. And if I wouldn't know how long this journey can be, that danger definitely would be there for me. I don't think that I never could go back to caffeine like again ever, because it was so scary for me. But when I had those bad waves, when I feel very desperate, when I feel that I don't have zero emotions, like now, for example, I feel emotions, I feel a little bit emotional and happy because I can feel and I can share. But when anhedonia was there, I couldn't feel nothing. And when I'm in that kind of wave, it's really fucking hard for me, because I thought that everything is better for me. Anything is better than being that kind of wave where I cannot feel. So my heart goes out with you, all of you, whatever you are experiencing in this journey, because I know in those situations that relapsing can be fucking close. But then search help that you feel it's okay for you, and not everyone wants to like share, or like, for example, my boyfriend, his journey have been a little bit different than mine, but he definitely have been feeling all that emptiness and lack of motivation, that blahness, that hopelessness, and I think like the after first year, or after that 2 years mark, there have been still that hopelessness, blahness. Like blahness feelings is like when you still kind of, you don't still feel that joy when you, for example, you are listening some song. You used to remember, I did get a lot of in this song. I was like enjoying this song. I was creative. I was writing. I was having all these I have all these thoughts. I could create things. I would dance. I would do stuff, and that is not there yet. And you are like, is this new me without caffeine? Am I gonna lose all my creativity? Because for me, creativity was how I function. I did love to write. I did love to make little funny dances. I was love to make Pilates classes. Like I didn't do anything of that. It was just like my brain didn't have that ability yet. And it can be hard that you are feeling better, but you are not quite there yet. So you have to wait. You have to trust the process, trust that brain chemistry will go back to normal. And if you are beginning of your journey, I hope that this information are helping you, because you really go the better version of yourself when you let yourself heal. And remember what I'm sharing, it's my experience, and experience that I'm having when I talk with people and when I help with people. And you always go to doctor and check yourself and take your test and whatever, to make sure that you are physically okay, that you are well. You remember that. But what I'm speaking about, it's about those mental symptoms and emotional symptoms, and also if you have trauma background, so you can also experience in this journey that there's comes all the emotions and trauma can come up to surface. So in my own journey, I was already, before that, I have been doing a lot of like trauma work. So in my case, I was like, before I quit, I was doing like good in that area of my life, and physically I was doing good, but mentally not. And I did have stomach issues and stuff. But when I did quit caffeine cold turkey, I didn't know anything anymore, like who I was, and this experience definitely have been the hardest experience for all the experience, all the traumas that I have been through, because of how long this is, but not just because how long, also because of that roller coaster. Because I understand it can be very tiring. It can be you feel hopeless sometimes, because you are thinking when it's gonna end, when this is gonna end, like how can I live my life with that? And you have your job, you have your family, you have your situation where you are living. So then you have to also cope with that all, not just like it's not just withdrawals that you have to cope. You also have to cope with your life and your loved ones and like that. So for me, it was a lifesaver that I'm in this kind of situation where I don't have kids, and I'm just like I do gardening here, and I'm basically like my dream is now to be as far away from society as I can. Like I wanna grow my own food, and that works for me like now really good, because oot muuten keittiössä sitten, jos tuut siihen. Niin, yes, but anyway, so remind that you are always doing the best that you can. And if you cannot quit caffeine now, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself, because this can be hard, and give yourself that a lot of that love and patience that you are doing this with all that is in your life. If you are working, like you are like superhero. Like I couldn't even work like in my first year. It wouldn't be possible. Maybe some computer work would be possible, maybe, but not playing with kids in the kindergarten or sports instructor work that I have been doing before. Like nothing like very physical work, or wouldn't be possible to be. No. And also post-acute withdrawals, remember that they're gonna be also sleep problems. They can sometimes come like you are okay, I'm sleeping good, my sleep is good, and then there comes weeks or months and you are like, I'm not fucking sleep good anymore. Like where is my good night's sleep? You are waking up at the night and you are widely awake, and maybe your mind is racing. I don't have that racing mind anymore, but sometimes when I have experienced more stress, I'm waking up at the nighttime. Usually it's before my periods. Also, it's mixed up with that hormonal imbalance still. So I'm like widely awake sometime, and then I feel that I'm calming down. I actually can feel that in my brain, that when my brain is calming down, and then I sleep again. But in my first year, it was so much more harder. And I did have a lot of sleep problems. Like there was always on and off those sleep issues. So remember that, and remember also that with time it gets very much better. And I'm very much hoping that in my 3 years mark, I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna tell you then that all my symptoms are gone. But before that, I always have been trying, and I have been saying that I'm improving, because I don't even wanna say that I'm like fully healed before I am. And remember that. And I have that positive mindset in this journey, but I'm in some of my previous lives, I'm even having that depersonalization, derealization. But I didn't just, in the beginning of my journey, like first year, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know. I was like, this is something that I have never experienced before, ever, never. And I was just feeling that there is some fucking like something wrong with my brain. Like why I have that feeling that I cannot connect with you or to myself. So how about that? How this sounds? Is this sounds like that you experienced that, or is this sounds that that's crazy woman there? Like, I don't know. But I'm just sharing. Okay, now I read the chat. Yes, for sure. You have very early mornings. Yes, congrats, 16 months. That's amazing, Wijapa. Adenosine. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when you go like longer in your journey. You're gonna be more hopeful and you're gonna be more interested about this journey, because you will see actually how you recover. You see that recovery in yourself. And I recommend that you do some kind of documentation in your own life. Not everybody wants to come here in YouTube. I don't even want to come in YouTube, because I get also a lot of like comments that I don't always like. But if you can do some documentation to yourself, like some diary, or maybe you take some videos when you are fucked up, take some videos, and then when the bad waves comes, you're gonna watch those videos so you can see like, okay, I was really fucked up before. Because sometimes you forget, and sometimes when the bad wave comes, you are like, I wasn't this bad. You are thinking, I was bad, but I wasn't this bad. And then if you have some documentation, you're gonna see that, okay, I was fucking bad. I was bad. Like, you're gonna see that. So that's why I recommend that you do some kind of like writing, or you put your symptoms, like what you are experiencing. So it's gonna help your own journey. And for me, it helps a lot of when I, for example, before my periods, I'm gonna see that, okay, this was like 2 to 3 months ago, I did have that bigger healing wave when I have always a little bit more bad symptoms in that bigger wave of healing. So I always can call myself, okay, I did have these same days that before, and it started like that. And yeah, Annie is not healed completely, but I think I'm getting there. And I promise that I'm gonna do that, my 2.5 year update video. But I don't see any sense to make videos like every single month, because it doesn't make sense for me. For me, it makes sense when I do those videos, like when there are more months between, because there is still so much healing happening. So, and remember also that I come this all experience also from heavy addiction. Like I was heavy addict, but some people, even they weren't heavy addict, they experience hell of a lot heavy symptoms in their healing journey. So caffeine, it's a drug. even 1 cup a day, like some years, can mess you up. That's how it is. Hi Veto. I'm good now. I'm good now. Yesterday you wouldn't like to see me. I was having that bad anhedonia that I was speaking about this this stream, and you can always watch this stream like afterwards if you can't make here. How are you? How is your journey going? Anhedonia is basically that, in my case, it was that I didn't feel anything. No good feelings, no bad feelings. I wasn't able to enjoy. I was watching other people having fun. Other people was living their lives. I couldn't connect. I was in a very nice place traveling. I couldn't connect anything. My brain was just like very empty. It was scary for me. I even tried to cry, but that was even a little bit hard for me. Usually I'm very emotional person, so, and I like that because caffeine really can mess up all that part. So it was scary for me, but now it's over, and that's why I came also say to you that if you are now in that bad wave, it's gonna go away, so don't worry. Yes, you are good. That's great. Yeah, sometimes there can come all kind of these waves, and remember that all the drugs are a little bit different. But for me, I haven't quit like with alcohol. I never have had problems. I never was like heavy alcohol user. Also, when I was like 19 or 20, I did have that short time when I was using benzos, and I went through benzo withdrawal. It was nothing like this, but I also know that some people go through years of withdrawals after quitting benzos. But for me, this caffeine have been the hardest thing ever to quit and go through these symptoms. So, but remember that if you are dealing with some other drug withdrawal, then you can also experience post-acute withdrawal symptoms, and they can be a little bit different maybe. Or maybe if you are quitting all the drugs at the same time, like nicotine and sugar and everything, you can maybe accept that there are also all kind of symptoms because of that, and they can be mixed up. And that's why sometimes it can hard to separate what is what in this journey. But for me, it was easier to understand this because the symptoms always have been coming in waves, and I just knew that nothing that I have been experiencing in this journey I didn't have before in this kind of a way that I have been experiencing. So it was very helpful. Yep. But do you have any questions for me? And you can also, if you have some questions, you can always put message to me to Discord. Sometimes I take break from the social media, so then I won't be answering. And don't think that I'm like, I don't answer because I don't wanna. Also, I share a very different time zone than many of you, so that's why I'm probably not answering in the middle of the night. So don't worry. And if I don't answering right away, and if I'm not here in the social media, like I'm not dead, I'm probably introverting there in the forest. I'm doing my own shit, and like that's going on. So like I just want to share that in the times of social media, we can share a different kind of we from that. Some people, they are all the time in their phone and in the internet. I'm not. I prefer not, but of course I also try to support as much as it's comfortable for me. But sometimes it's good to keep breaks from the social media. Just do your own shit, do your own thing. Don't give a fuck about what anybody else is doing, and like that, you have to live your own life in your own way. And also when you have quit the drug, you have to find your own way to go through that. And don't listen what if somebody is putting some fear for you. You can say, okay, that is your fear. I don't have that kind of fear. That's not my thing. I'm doing my life, and that's how it is. But anyway, I'm gonna now end this live before I'm gonna speak too much, and then nobody would have time to watch this. But I hope this was helpful, and I really know that you get better. And the more you like time you give yourself to more healing you will see. And don't go back to drug. And remember that always you can quit again, and always it's a new day. So yeah, you have time. You have time, definitely, young one. But even if you are older one or veteran like me, like addict who have been in this drug for years, you have hope and you go back to better. So lot of kisses, lot of hugs, and Ilo will be back then when the time's right. So see you. Bye.